Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this time around we're going to have a series of training on a particular model. It's actually a magistrate court. It's a magistrate court, and the architectural plan has different kinds of structural members like the ramp. We have at the ground floor we have the old ground floor for parking space. We have the staircase. We have like lift. We have the lift shaft. So we are going to be doing a whole lot of modeling. So this is the ground floor plan. This is the first floor architectural plan. So now let's get into action. So just like before, we're going to divide this training into series. So in this first series we are going to look into the general arrangement preparation. Then from there we are going to export to PROTA structure software, and from there we are going to start the modeling of the structural members. So let's start. Now the first thing we're going to do here is that we're going to copy. Let's make a copy of the ground floor up to the roof plan. I just make a copy. Copy. Alright, so we go to copy. I can switch off this orthogonal and this snap. Alright, so I'm going to place it somewhere around there. Alright, so now we have the drawings here. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to open a new AutoCAD window. Alright, so in this new AutoCAD window I'm going to do the settings. So I will start with the units. Then I will go to decimal and make this one 0, make it millimeter. So okay, so then adjust the limit, then the lower left corner 0,0, enter. Then the upper one I'm going to make it 100 meters, that's 100,000 since we are working with millimeters. 100 to 3, 100, 1 2 3, enter. Then zoom, enter, then hold. Also I will work on the dimension style, so I will enter DIM, then I will go to DIM style. I will go to standard, then I will modify this. I'll go to primary unit, make this one 0, and text, let's make it 150. Then the symbols and arrows, let's make it 100. Then the lines, I'm going to suppress the 2 lines. Then OK. Then I will make this one, I will set it as my current dimension style. Then I will close this. So now we are going to go to where we have the architectural drawings. Alright, so this is the ground floor, this is the first floor. So now let's start with the ground floor. We copy this, Ctrl C, then you paste here on this in this your new AutoCAD window, that's Ctrl V. You have it here. Alright, so we're going to delete all these unnecessary information. Okay, so we just we select the grid lines and select similar, delete. Then I will select these dimensions, select similar, delete, select similar, delete. Okay, so now this is my ground floor, so everything is clear now. I don't want any unnecessary information. So this is a ground floor plan. Let me try and move this a little. Alright, so now I'm going to save this as a DXF file. So I will go to displays, then I will go to save as, then I will make it ground floor architectural plan. I will put it on a desktop for now. Later I will put it in a folder. So desktop, then go here, then go to DXF, then save. Alright, so this is saved. I will delete this, then I will go to, or better still, let's Ctrl C, then I will bring it back here. Alright, so let's do the same thing for this. Ctrl C, then you go to the new window, Ctrl V. Alright, so let's do it again. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete all these, so select similar, delete, dimension, select similar, delete, delete this line, then delete all this. So let's move this a little. Alright, so now this is the first floor architectural plan. Let's delete this one as well. Alright, so this is the first floor architectural plan. So I'm going to save it as a DXF file as well. So save as DXF, yes. Then I'm going to change this one to first floor architectural plan on my desktop. Save. So now let's move this drawing back to the other AutoCAD window. Ctrl V. Alright, so we have it here. So let's do the same thing for this. Control C, then Control V. Alright, we go again, delete this, then you delete all this. Sorry, I didn't select similar, so let's select similar. It's faster when you use the select similar option, so you can delete everything at once. Okay, then all this, select similar, then delete. Alright, so now let's move this. Alright, so now this is the second floor to the third floor architectural plan. So I will save it as DXF as well. It's in DXF already, so I will just say second to third floor, second to third floor architectural plan. Then it is going to be on my desktop. Save. So let's move this back. Control C. Control V. Alright, so here let's copy this as well. Control C, then the new window, delete this one. Control V. So now let's start again. Select similar, delete. Select similar, delete. Select similar, delete. Select similar, delete. Then delete this one, delete this one. Now let's move this again. This is the fourth floor architectural plan. Sorry, there's another thing we need to delete. Select similar. I think these are the assumed column positions by the architect probably, so let's delete them. We need to come up with our own column arrangement. Alright, so now this is a fourth floor plan. Let's move this to the center. Alright, so we go to here and save as. So we change this one to the fourth floor architectural plan. It's going to be on my desktop, so save. So I can copy this back, Control C, then Control V. Right, lastly, let's do the same thing for the roof plan. Control C, then delete this one, then you Control V. Alright, so let's delete all this again. Select similar, delete. Select similar, delete. Select similar, delete. Alright, so now we have this. This is our roof plan. So I will move this a little. Okay, good. So I will save this as well. I will save it as a roof plan. On my desktop, then save. So I can copy this back, escape, then Ctrl V. Alright, good. So let me just draw a rectangle over this. Alright, good. So now we have been able to remove all the grid lines, all those dimensions. Now what we are going to do next is that we are going to start placing our columns. So we start placing the columns. I'm going to delete this as well. These are the assumed column positions by the architect. So I'm selecting everything at once. So let me delete. Alright, so now before we go into the column placement, let's make a copy of this. So let's select this, copy, then I will just drop it here, then escape. Now let's start the column placement. So now for that we go here. We have already have a column layer, so we make it active. This is a column layer. Then we go to polyline. Now I'm going to model 450 by the thickness of my column. Let's check, because I want my wall to align with the I want my column thickness to align with the wall thickness. So I'm going to check the dimension of the wall, the thickness of the wall. Oh, sorry, the dimension is very, let's adjust the dimension style, DM style. Let's make it standard. Then let's go to modify, primary unit, make it 0, text height. Oh, this is in decimal. Oh, let's go back. Let's go to units. Let's change it to decimal. Then let's make this 1 millimeters. Okay, now back to dimension style, make it standard, modify, primary unit 0, then text height, make it 150, then symbol arrow size, make it 100, then suppress this line, okay. Then you set this as current, set current. Close. So now let's check the wall thickness dimension. So okay, the wall thickness is 225. So now we're going to model our column as 450 by 225. So we go to polyline, make sure the orthogonal is, the auto mode is on. So we draw a line like this. You type 450, enter. Then you type 225, press enter. Up again you type 450, press enter. Then to this side you press close, enter. Alright, so now we move this. Can switch off this for now, then this for now. So we move it here. Alright, so we model another one. This one is standing upright, so we just model another one, you know, in case there is need for that. So we make this on. So we make it 450. oh sorry, 450 this direction, enter. 225 to this direction, 450 to this direction, then you close it. Alright, so we can also hatch the column. You go to hatch, solid hatch, solid, then the color, let's change the color to this current one, yeah, by layer. So right, solid. Alright, so now we have the columns. So the next thing we do is we start to position the columns. So we highlight this, then I will make this active. So copy selection, I will pick this corner, I will probably drop the column here. So I will start to position the columns. At this corner, I will need something like this. Yeah. Copy selection. Something like this. Now, why trying to position your columns, though there is no general way of doing that, but at the same time, you need to observe some thumb rules while trying to position your columns. You must position your columns in a way that it doesn't change the brief of the architect, so that you don't have your columns projecting from the wall. And that is why I made the thickness of my column 225 in the first place, so that it doesn't project. Like for instance, you can make your column 450 by let's say 300 here, or else it would change the brief of the architect. So we don't want that. You have to position your columns in a way that they will not be projecting from the walls. So let's continue. I will want a column here as well, so I will just copy selection, I will place one here. So now this is how we go on to position the columns. This is how we copy selection. So I can, oh sorry, I need to change the direction. So now this is how we position all the columns in the first floor, on the architectural plan. So let's go on. So alright, excuse me, I've been able to position the columns on the first floor architectural plan. So now let's copy the columns on the second floor, the third floor, and the fourth floor. Let's see if the arrangement would work for other floors. So this is very simple. We just select a column, then you go to select similar, make sure all the columns have been selected, then you go to copy selection, then you look for a common area, a location that is common to the first floor, to the first floor and the other floors. So I think the best position is the staircase area. So we go to this corner. So let's pick this corner then we look for the same corner here, then we click the same corner here, then we go to the last floor here, the same corner, so we just click, then we can escape. Now let's have a look. Let's start with the second to the third floor. Alright, so we have this column coming from the first floor, but it cannot continue, so we are going to delete this, but let's still leave it for now. We are going to handle this in PROTA structure, but let's just take note of this. This particular column cannot continue through the second and the third floor. So let's check the other columns, whether they are well positioned. Alright, this is good. Alright, this is good. This column cannot continue as well. So now let's check the fourth floor. The floors seem to be very similar. I think that is why this one that's why we have all our columns aligning. Alright, so now the next thing we are going to do now is we are going to put the grid lines across the columns. So this is easy. Just select a column, go to select similar, then you go to probably copy selection. This time around you can just pick any point, since we are trying to copy just the columns. It's not as if we are trying to paste it on the plan. Just drop it here, escape, then you can delete this other ones. Now let's move it to a corner here. Good. Now we're going to create another layer for the axis. So let's go here, go to layer properties, and create a layer for the axis. Okay, the name axis is already in use. Okay, we have axis already. All right, so we make use of the axis. Let's make the color blue, maybe. Then we go to axis. Alright, so we make axis layer active, then we go to construction line, just press X, L, then we have construction line. Alright, so we press H on our keyboard, that's horizontal line. Then you place these lines at the centers of the columns. Make sure the line is cutting across all the columns on the line. Okay, this one is separate, so I will just click the middle. Alright, so this one, click the middle. This one I have to click this one separate. Okay, in that case let's delete this other one, since this one is cutting across all the columns, so this is better. Construction line, H, enter. Alright, so we have gotten the horizontal construction lines. Let's check properly, because the lines must run through all the columns. Alright, so now we do the same thing for the vertical. So press the space bar, or you can just say repeat construction line, and this time around we press V. That's vertical ones. So for the center as well, sorry, repeat construction line, vertical, for this at the center. Okay, so we put here, then for this, then for this, okay. Alright, so escape. So we have the axis running through all the columns. Let's confirm. We have the axis running through all the columns. Alright, so let's draw a rectangle across this. Then let's go to, let's cut all these excess lines. Then we can delete this rectangle. So now we have the grid lines. Can move this back. Alright, so we have the grid lines and we have the columns. Now let's copy this, Ctrl C, and let's take it to the new AutoCAD window, this place. So here we have the columns and we have the axis. Let's just confirm. Let's turn the column layer off. Let's see, it's off, on. Then for the axis, let's off it. Okay, on. Then alright, so now we can save this as a DXF file. So we go here, save as DXF, is already there, so we just make it a general arrangement. Magistrate court. Alright, so we save it on the desktop as well. Save. Alright, so we can delete this one. We don't need it again. Now let's go back to this place. Now we now open the PROTA structure. Now this time around we are going to import the grid lines and the columns into the PROTA structure window. So we go to PROTA structure, then we go to new project, then the project code, let's say magistrate court, training 2022. All right, so then we select the project code. I'm going to select the Euro code, then OK. Please, if you like what you are seeing, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel for more updates. Now this is the PROTA structure window, so we now go to DXF import, then we load DXF, then you will now search for the DXF files. Search for the DXF files. So now this is the general arrangement that we want to import. So this is it, general arrangement, magistrate court. Then you click open, then you import, and you close. All right, so you have it here. So now you have the grid lines, you have the columns. Now try and confirm the sizes of the columns. You right click, go to member table, go to column table, and check. Make sure you have 225 by 450 exactly, so you can just check through. All right, this is correct, so we close. Then another thing is another thing we're going to check. We're going to check the position of the the column centroid. You can see where we have the centroid of the column here. So we reposition it, so we can, let's go to properties, let's make it 0, then update. No, it's shifting to the other side. No, we don't want that. So what we're going to do, then let's delete and reposition. So let's copy from here, modeling, column. Oh, can't remember where we picked it from. Ctrl Z. Okay, this grid line A3. Okay, so now let's do something. Let's delete this here, the modeling column. So we just put it here. All right, so let's check if we have another one. This one is okay. All right, this one has the same problem, so we delete this, click on this column, modeling column. Okay, it's the first grid line. Okay, modeling column. All right, so which other one? This one also has a problem, so we delete modeling column. This one, select this, modeling column. Right, this one is okay. So you check if there is any column that is not well positioned, you check and reposition them. All right, another thing we're going to do is we're going to change this axis labeling, this A1, A2, A3. So we can, let's change this one, properties, to, let's make it A, update. You can as well do everything at once. You select at once, go to properties, then this A2 is B, A3 C, like you can have a look, A, B, then A3, A3 is going to be C, then the A5 is going to be D, then A4 is going to be E. Alright, like this. So A6 is going to be F, then A7 is going to be G, A8 is going to be H, and A9 is going to be I. Then this last one is going to be J. Properties, change it to J. Okay, you can do the same thing here. You can go to properties. A11 is going to be, let's make it 1, then A12 we make it 2, A13 we make it 3, A14 we make it 4, A16 we make it 5, A15 we make it 6, A17 we make it 7, so we continue. Properties, then A18 is going to be 8. Oh no, A19 is going to be 8. Yeah, let's confirm. So this one is going to be 9. A20 is going to be 10. 21 is going to be 11. A22 is going to be 12. Then nine, 10, 11, 12. Then we have A23, A24. So that's 13, 14, then 15. Alright, so now we have the axis labels, then we have the columns. So now we are going to model the beams. So we go to, before we start modeling the beams, we need to import the architectural plans. So let's import the first floor architectural plan. So we go to building setout, external reference drawing, then we click on add, then you click on the first floor architectural plan, click open, then make it active 3D, use the color, then you click OK. Now you can see it is not well positioned, so now we need to position it well. Now another thing is that if you check the position of the column, the first column here, you see that it aligns with the wall here, so we can reposition this plan by making this first column this first column to align with the corner of the building here. So we go back to the external reference drawing, then we go to move. So you click this corner, then you drag the plan and click the same corner, then okay. Now you can see, now we have this well positioned. Now another thing I'm going to do for better identification of the column positions, I will just go to the settings, layer, then I will change the column arch to this or this. Okay, then okay, yeah, it's better for me like this so that I can identify the position of the columns with ease. Alright, now I'm going to start modeling the beams. I think I will need a column here because let's see the span here. The span is quite much. Let's see, from here, 6.88. okay, we can leave it. Let's leave it. So now we start modeling the beams. So we go to modeling, go to beam. So let's make the beam 225 by 450. Alright, so I'm going to put the beam here. Close. Also, I would like to change the color of this beam. I will go back to set out, settings, layers, then beam. Let's change it to this. Okay, alright, so this is better for me. So now I will continue. I will just click on a beam, go to modeling, then beam. I want to retain this property, that's why I first of all clicked on the beam. So we drag this like this, like this. I want to put a beam here, but there is no grid line here, so I will copy a grid line from here. Just go to offset, then I will drop it here. I will now offset this grid line to the middle of this wall. So first of all, we need to know the dimension of the wall, 225. So now I can offset. Then when you are trying to offset downwards, you make the offset distance negative. So you press shift F2 on your keyboard, then you press minus the half of the thickness of the wall, that's minus 112.5. so enter. So now I can put beam across here. The same thing goes for here. By the time I run a beam like this, I will want to put a beam here, so I can easily offset first of all here, then I can now offset again, offset, shift F2, then this one is going to be positive because I'm trying to offset upwards, so 112.5, enter. So now I can model the beam. I can select one beam, go to modeling, click on beam, then from here to this point, escape, again from here to this point, then to this point. Alright, close. So I can come here again, modeling beam, want to run a beam from here to this place. Alright, close. Also I would want a column here, so I need to delete this beam first. I want to put a column here, so I will delete this beam. I want to put column here and here. So now I will look for a column with a similar orientation. Or better still, I can just model a new one. Just go to column 450 by my B1. I want my B1 to be 225 and my B2 to be 450. Here and here. Alright, I'm trying to reduce the span of this beam. So now I can select a beam, modeling beam, then run from there to this point. Do you want to split the new beams at supporting spans? No, that is, I don't want to split my beams, because if you click yes, that means along this span the beam will be divided into two because of this point load from another beam. So let's do the same thing here. No. So I want to run a beam here, so I can put column here as well. Let's check the span first. From here to this point, 9 meters. Wow. So I want to drop a column here. Let me look for a column with the same orientation like this one, then modeling column. So let me drop it here. So now beam, modeling, click on beam. So I want to run this to this point. Alright. Here I would add a 225 by 225 column, this point and this point. So I will go to column 225 by 225. Then I can draw the beam. Here I would offset this axis, offset, to the middle of this wall. beam, modeling, escape to the middle of the wall. Okay, the same thing here. Now let's check if we have beams. We have all the beams complete. So let's go to view, go to 3D physical model. Let's check if we have the beams complete. Let's go back to plan. Don't think we have any beam here. This is just a free, just like this place. Alright, so let's check. Is there any place we need to put beam? Alright, I think this is okay for now. Alright, this is okay for now. So now we go back to plan, then we will start to insert the slabs. Remember, this is still the first floor, and since we are going to be modeling the staircase and the ramps, so at this point it will be good enough to divide the stories into half landing and final landing. So we go to stories, and we go to edit story. So the building height we are considering is 3 meters. So if we are going to have a half landing and a final landing, that is, we are going to divide each story into 2 equal parts. So therefore we only have story 1. So we go to stories, then we insert story. So I will just put 2 for now. Now this story 1 is going to be the half landing, while story 2 is going to be the final landing. So what we are going to do now is that we are going to copy everything we have in story 1 to story 2, because the only thing we are going to have in story 1 is just the half landing for the ramp and the staircase, though we have not done the modeling of the staircase, but we are still coming back to that. So for now I'm just trying to make us understand the reason for the division. So now we go to story, then we go to edit story. So therefore we make this one 1500. That is the half landing. That the final landing is going to be 1500 as well. So altogether this makes 3000. Alright, so we click OK. Alright, now we can generate everything we have in story 1 to story 2, because the only thing we'll be having in story 1 is just the staircase. So we make story 1 active, then we go to stories, go to generate story. We want to generate 1 to 2, so we're going to be selecting 2 here while 1 here is active. So we click OK. Then we have process completed, then we close. Now this is going to be our first floor, while story 1 is going to be our half landing, where we're going to have the staircase only. But for now we will still leave the beams, the columns, because they're going to serve as guide. for us while we are trying to model the staircase and the ramp. So now, for now, we go to Storey 2 to model the slabs. Oh, we forgot to put beam here. You forgot to put beam here. Yeah, running like this. So let's put the beam. Or at the same time, we can copy the architectural plan. That's the first floor architectural plan to this Storey as well. But before then, let's just model this missing beam. Missing beams rather. Okay, close. So now we can place the slabs. We can place the slabs. Let's check very well. Okay, so there is additional. We have an additional beam to add. So now we go to modeling, then we go to slab. Then for the height of the slab, we're going to consider 150 millimeter, and the concrete cover will leave it as 25 millimeter. Then for the loads, for the additional dead load for the finishing, we are going to, let's use 2. Then for the imposed load, let's right click here, and we are going to see impose loads for different usages. For general domestic use, we have 1.5 as our imposed load. Then for hospital walls, we have 2. Then for classrooms, we have 3. Shopping areas, we have 4. Public circulation areas, we have 5. So for this training, I would want us to consider let's just consider 3. Let's make it 3. Let's just type 3 as our imposed load. Then that is all. Then under the general, make sure we have different ways of inserting the slabs. So we have the beam region, we have the axis region. So for now, let's use the beam region. Then we can click the beam region to position the slabs. Meanwhile, we are not going to put slab. We're not going to put slabs in the staircase areas, like this area where we have the staircase. We are not going to put slabs there. So let's position the slabs. We have staircase here, so we'll leave it. We have staircase here. We'll put a slab here. I would want us to have a beam here. Sorry, I would want us to have a beam here. Let's check. Yeah, we can have a beam running on this grid line L. Just grid line L here. So we just go to modeling, beam, click the slab, modeling slab. Sorry, there's a problem here. Why do we have the column like this? Okay, we can actually run a beam like this, or we can reposition the column. Okay, so let's go back to Storey 2. That's the first floor. We delete this slab. So now we can reposition the column. Let's look for a similar column. This one, modeling column, like this. Then we can delete this one. Then beam, modeling beam. So let's continue with the slab, modeling slab, beam region. Alright, so we close. Now another thing I would want us to do is, now we need to model the lift shaft. So we need to import the first floor architectural plan here. So now we can go to Storey 1, then we switch this off here. We go to external reference drawing. We can make this one not active, then OK. Then we go to Storey 2 and go to external reference drawing, and sorry, first of all we need to delete, we need to remove, then add first floor, open, then make it active, use the color, then we can reposition it from this corner. This corner. Okay. Alright, now let's model the lift shaft. Now we don't have axis running through this other wall, so we need to put axis here. So we click on this axis, offset, put it here. Then I want the axis to run through the center of this wall, so I will offset to the center of this wall. This wall is let's measure this wall. I think is 150. I think the wall is 150. Let's use this one, measure from here to here, 150. So now let's offset to the center of the wall. Offset, shift and F2, then you offset by 75. Now the half of the wall. The same thing here, we need to put grid line here. Then we can then offset to the center of the wall. Shift F2 minus 75, since we are trying to offset downwards. Alright, so now we have this. Okay, now we can model the lift shaft. So we go to modeling wall. Then let's use a 200mm wall. Then this one is going to be 100, and this will be 100 as well. Sorry, okay, let's do it. We come back to that. 200, 100, and 100. So we click here. Alright, you will notice that the wall is not reaching this point, so we are going to do something. We offset this axis to this point, to the extreme end of the to the end of the wall. Then we will now offset back by 100. That's 100. Enter. Okay, so the same thing here. Offset minus 100. Alright, so that is all. So we go back to wall, make it 200, make it I and J. That's the, I will show you the meaning of I and J now. So we click here up to this point. So this I and J is just the distance from this point where you have these red dots to this other end. We have one for I and the other one for J, and that is why I had to offset the axis like this so that I can have my wall touching this other end. Alright, another thing is you will notice that the thickness of the wall here is not the same as the thickness of the wall here. That is why we don't have the walls aligning with this one, but that's fine. So modeling wall, we can click from here and take it down here. Then we also have it here from here to this point, then from here to this point, then from here to this point. Alright, so now we can close this, update, then close. Oh, we have not saved our work since, so I will just Control S. Alright, our work has been saved. So now I would put beam here. So we go to modeling beam. I want to have beam running from here to this point, another beam from here to this point, then one more beam from here to this point, then a beam from here to this point. Alright, I will close this, then we can continue with the slab modeling. Can continue with the slab modeling. Let's see, Okay, let's put beam here, modeling beam. Alright, so we close this. So now we can continue with the slab modeling. So now we click a panel, then modeling slab, still on the beam region. So we put slab here, but don't forget we have opening here. So I'm coming back to this opening. So we put slab here as well. So we put slab here, we put slab here, put slab here, then we put slab here. Alright, close. So now the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to create an opening. We have an opening here. Don't forget, in the architectural drawing we have opening around here and around here. So we now, to create this opening, we go to modeling, then you see something like this, slab opening. You click on it, then very simple, just click the left corner and you drag it to the last corner here, then you have your opening. Alright, so we have the opening. So the same way we have another opening here, we click this left corner, then we drag it down here, it's not showing, so let's do it again. Slab opening, you click twice on it. Alright, so close this now. So now we have the opening within this slab. So let's have a look in 3D. Alright, so we have the opening here, the opening here. Don't forget, this is our staircase area, and this is another staircase area. Now you are going to notice something here, that the columns seem short. We are coming back to this in the next episode. So we are going to we have come to the end of this episode. We have been able to model, we have been able to import our general arrangement from AutoCAD to PROTA structure. We have done the modeling of the columns, the beams, the slabs, and we have been able to model the lift shaft, but we are yet to create the opening within the lift shaft. We have created opening within the slab. So in the next episode we are going to create the opening in the lift shaft, that is the entrance to the lift area. Then we are going to model the ramp and the staircases. Then we are going to generate more stories. All this will happen in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and if you like what you are seeing, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you, and see you in the next episode.